Hey guys, Tom here, welcome to the vlog. Right, so a few weeks ago I went and volunteered at a homeless shelter for the night. The reason I did this was because I help out at a local charity group in my village and we've been raising money for them throughout 2013. So I went there to go and see what they do, and it truly was an eye-opening experience. When I went, I thought I was open-minded to the idea. I thought that I didn't have any prejudices against the homeless. It was only when I was in the car that I realised how terrified of the occasion I was. I was literally just shaking with nerves. I don't know the reason for this. Maybe it's because it was a completely new experience, but I think what didn't help with that is the way that the homeless people are portrayed in the media. In England particularly, I don't know about other countries. Homeless people in England are portrayed as being quite dangerous, which is something that I learned from this experience is not true in every case, and something that has to stop, or else these poor people will not be able to work their way out of the vicious circle that they've gotten themselves into. I was completely terrified of what was going to happen that evening until the guests start to arrive at the shelter. They all ran in. Some of them literally did run in, talking to all of us helpers. It was at that point that I realised anyone could potentially become homeless. It's not a lifestyle they choose. It's not something that they wish to happen to them. It's not something that happens because you're poor or because you like drinking too much. It can literally be any of us. And it wasn't just that. It was when I was talking to the people, they were all genuinely nice people. Everyone had a story to tell, and that was true of anyone, but these people in particular had strong, heartfelt stories to tell to us that is just glossed over by the media. We see homeless people sitting on the street. We walk by them. Some people even steer clear of them completely by taking an alternate route. Just something that I think probably needs to stop. I mean, another thing that struck me about how normal these people are is that I was sitting down at a table with them and they're talking about a video that they'd seen on YouTube that night. That wasn't something that I thought would happen. I honestly thought that homeless people live in isolation, which is a perception that we have had built up inside us. I mean, we're all taught to not talk to strangers, and what is stranger to us than something we don't understand? People that live on the street is something that we don't understand, therefore extremely strange. So we go out of our way to not talk to these people, which is something that isn't right. What I'm not trying to say, however, is that everyone needs to go out and take a homeless person into their house. That might not end well, because there are some people out there that are genuinely a danger to themselves and to society. So I'm not condoning picking up random people off the street, but to show a bit of compassion to people, I think would go a long way. They have no human contact, and when it comes down to it, we're all just people. Anyone could be homeless at some point. It's just a matter of luck and fortune. If you do want to help out the homeless in our society, there's one thing that I reckon that people should do. Go and volunteer at a shelter. It's a way you can genuinely help the people, whereas if you give them money on the street, they may potentially go off and spend it on drugs or alcohol, which is issues that people do sometimes genuinely have to deal with. Whereas if you're helping at a shelter, you can help and see the difference you're making to their lives. It really is an enlightening experience.